Hi, it's me again with Corel tips and tricks, and the same person that sent me the picture on this one that I've already done a couple of videos on also sent me one of these. And this is where you find out if you have any artistic ability, which I have none. But he asked how you could kind of create this, and I'm just going to go over some basic ideas that I would use. I'm going to grab the 3-point line, and I'm going to start about right there. I'm going to go there. I'm going to make a curve. I'm going to go there to about there and make a curve. I'm going to go there to about there and make a curve. Then on the bottom one, I'm going to go the opposite curve. And you could take a long time to play with this. But then we've got a kind of a shape we like. Well, I don't know if anybody likes it, but Control D and make a duplicate while holding down the control button, mirror it. Now we need to take both those lines, go up to Object and combine them. Go up to Effects and Contour. We're going to contour the outside 0.2. See, we got a totally different shape now. We're going to Control K after you pick it. Then we'll break the contour apart, get rid of the center line. Take your 3-point line again and go from anywhere about there to the edge, about to the edge, and kind of give yourself a little bit of a slope. And then take your virtual segment delete key and delete those interior lines. Matter of fact, we went a little bit deeper on here, but that doesn't matter because we're going to smart fill this in to kind of complete them all. And I'm still using yellow from the previous video. So now you have a shape, and we can left click, right click in black. And I like drawing in the center of the page, so I'm going to put it in the center of the page. And this has a name in it, and there's several ways you could do this, and I've already kind of done it like this before on the other videos, so I'm going to kind of do a little bit different. I'm going to Control K and break it apart. I'm going to go to Object and convert it to a curve, all of them to a curve. Now I can select it and go to the boundary tool and grab a boundary. Now I'm going to nudge that boundary out of the way. And now I can contour that, saying, let's go 0.1. So now we have a contour around there. Control K again and break it apart and get rid of the center one. And then we've got our text in a weldable contour. So we need to make it smaller to fit into our new shape. And we'll go right here, and you could do anything you wanted to here. But what you do want to do, you do want to take your text out of there. So we'll have to, you'll actually have to select it all, nudge it twice, go back down here and bring it back down, and then you could weld this. And now you have a completely different shape. Pretty cool looking. But then this thing has some twirls and a diamond. And this is where drawing in the center of the page, I think, really helps you. Get your twirl tool that's underneath your polygon tool, to have it just on one spiral revolution, and maybe hold down your control button. Now we want that twirl to be a different direction, so we're going to mirror it. We want it kind of down. And now we're going to take it and kind of see what it looks like, and we're going to contour that to the outside and get a, that's too much, 0.5. No, 0.15. No, 0.05, sorry. Just a little bit of a contour. Control K and break that apart. Let's zoom in here. And I'm just playing with this. I mean, there's nothing that cool about it. But now here's kind of the key. Hit P, put it in the center of the page. Because of our drawings in the center of the page, now we can change our nudge factor to something less than that, let's say 0.25 of an inch, and nudge that over. Now I should have, what I really should have done, I should have made a duplicate and then mirror it like that. And then what the smartest thing, or I would think, would be to grab both these, Control G and then hit P, put them in the center of the page, and then nudge them down, ungroup them, and what I'm trying to do is make them equal. Now we're going to nudge this one over 1, 2 times, 1, 2 times. Maybe that's a little bit too much, so we can go back 0.1 and nudge them back 1. All you're doing is making them symmetrical. Then if you will get your polygon tool and make it a 4-sided polygon, you can draw a star if you hold down the control button or you let it go. And then hit P. Now that one particular one in the drawing had kind of like slope circles that would mimic this, but that'd be easy enough to go to object and convert it to a curve and then grab these nodes and actually take these 2 nodes away. Actually take them all away. And then select everything and right click to a curve. And then you could take these items and just kind of slope it in ever so little. Like it didn't do a very good job. But if you had to have it equal, you could very easily make it equal. And I'll show you here in just a second. I'm going to hit P and put it in the center of the page. Well, that didn't really matter. Tell you what, we can move it over here. Control D and make a duplicate and mirror it. I did a pretty good job of getting them like that, but this way, if you use the Smart Fill tool, move it over, left click, right click, and then Control D and make a duplicate and mirror it the other way. And basically what you're doing, you're getting it pretty much all the same symmetrical shape. And it was surprisingly how symmetrical I made it. But if you look now, if we Control D and flip it, it's right on top of its line. Make sure you delete that duplicate. Hit P, put it in the center of the page, and then put it wherever you like. You could actually Control D and make a duplicate of that, and then holding down the Shift key so it'll grow from the center, and then you could start moving and hold down the control button, and you get kind of a unique little design. And like I said, I have no artistic ability. And then we need to bring in, on the original one, there's a butterfly, not really too much contour, but a little bit of a shape before the outlet. And also you could put all kinds of embellishments on the inside here that would make it a lot better. You know, fill this up with engraved items. But we need to take this butterfly and see how big it is. I actually stole this from the other previous one. That's about the right size. So we're going to go and we're going to do like we did before and ungroup it, and then go to the boundary tool and make a boundary and then nudge it out of the way. We're actually going to go to contour that. That did pretty good. Go to object and Control K, break it apart. Grab the inside one and just get it out of the way. And then move this one down. And then just kind of put it where you want to put it in this part. Now, one thing that would help you would be to get all the text out of the way. So we're going to nudge. Tell you what, I'm going to change my nudge factor to something better, like 0.3. And I'm going to, well, I can grab my text now. I'm just going to nudge my text out of the way 3 times. If you ever see anything move, make sure you move it back. And I think that did already move. It'd be easier to take the whole thing out. And then bring this back. I should have made my nudge factor even more. And then bring in this butterfly. And all we're doing is getting rid of the outline. And looks like I've got some garbage or some dirt on my screen. But anyway, put that about there and take your butterfly. I'm going to change my nudge factor to 1 inch. Take the butterfly. Evidently the butterfly is not grouped together. So let's Control G and group it together. Put that thing back. Now grab the butterfly and move it out of the way. And we should do both of them. So let's put it back. Control D and make a duplicate, and then put this other butterfly. If you ever get those round circles, it's because you holding down the control button before you start moving it We'll put it about right there. We'll grab the butterfly, nudge it out of the way, grab that butterfly, nudge it out of the way. Tell you what, we'll put that back, move this butterfly out of the way. That's one thing nice about the nudge tool. You can put things right back to where they were. Now we're going to go and we're going to weld this. We lost our interior parts, so back up. That's because, you know what, I did that wrong. So I'm going to grab that butterfly, hold down the shift, grab that butterfly, and then grab this edge, and then weld, and those other parts will stay there. Now just nudge this back up. I must have moved a little bit. If you ever see that, you can get it right back. One, you can go backwards, or two, you can just slightly. Sometimes it's hard to grab an item, but you go off the page, and that shouldn't have happened. And then just follow the same thing we did earlier. Now I can't remember what my nudge was. I think it was 0.25. Then nudge this back in the exact spot, and we were not right there. So let's go 0.01. Grab the letters and then nudge them up slowly to where they belong. And then all you have to do is put the round part for the pendant, or for the, it looks like it's a necklace because you would have two of them. But that would engrave, cut out, and the butterfly would engrave. And then once you put some, or once he put some gear looking things and basically rounded polygons and, you know, flowers or something, circles, you would embellish it quite a bit. Kind of a boring video for most of you, but I hope that helped a little bit.